Emotions can be like handcuffs holding you back, or like anchors making you feel heavy, but what if you could release them? Rule number 1. Don't let love overwhelm you. Love is a wonderful feeling that ties us together and gives our existence purpose, but when it's too intense or one-sided, it can harm us. It might blur our thinking, expose our vulnerabilities, and even bring depression when not returned or taken away. Stoic philosophers who valued emotional balance often discussed the pitfalls of deep attachment. So what if you turned these emotions into tools instead of restraints? Today we're exploring how to stay unaffected by feelings as usual. This lesson is especially evident in our private lives when we consider a time when we may have cared for someone so deeply that their decisions determined your joy. The feeling of being betrayed, the pain of lost love, or the setback from unfulfilled wishes can be difficult to handle. But imagine if you could love as deeply, but without the exposed risks. Marcus Aurelius, a ruler and Stoic thinker, observed that you control your thoughts, not what happens around you. Grasp this, and you discover inner strength. The key lies in understanding that love, like other emotions, comes and goes while it lasts. Treasure it, but don't allow love be the thing that holds you back. Instead, consider love to be the wind pushing you forward and guiding you, but not controlling your path. Your path should be entirely in your hands. By developing the skill of love without attachment, you can protect your heart and strengthen your soul. You can form meaningful relationships without worrying that you'll become lost in them. This is the first step towards true emotional balance, in which you are in control of your emotions rather than the other way around. This is the second rule: quit caring for everyone. Cut back on your empathy and quit caring for everyone. Empathy, or the capacity to understand and feel what another person goes through, is highly regarded as one of the greatest human virtues. However, having too much empathy can drain our energy and sometimes put us in danger of becoming involved in another person's problems at our own expense. As the renowned philosopher Epictetus famously observed, it's how you respond to things rather than the things themselves that matter most. This viewpoint is particularly important when it comes to empathy. Although it's normal to feel empathy for others, it's important to know when to intervene and when to back off. This isn't about ignoring other people's emotions or situations. It's about knowing when to engage emotionally and when to back off a little. By doing this, you can protect yourself from needless emotional distress and ensure that when you choose to empathize, it's sincere, concentrated, and meaningful on the path to emotional detachment. If you imagine a sponge that never stops absorbing water it encounters without occasionally wringing it out, it's bound to become too wet and useless, just as when our emotional involvement is excessive in everything and everyone, we tend to become emotionally overloaded, blurring our vision, draining our energy, and putting our personal ambitions on hold. Walk through life with lucidity, ensuring that your emotional energy isn't wasted on every fleeting thought or incident. Rule number 3. Keep your distance from people who bring negativity into your life. The people we choose to surround ourselves with have a big impact on our emotions, mindsets, and general well-being, much like one bad apple can ruin the bunch. A negative individual has the power to overwhelm us, sap our vitality, and cloud our judgment. Strong believers in self-care and self-worth, Stoics understood that although we are powerless to change the actions of others, we do have the ability to choose our circle. Diogenes, a renowned Stoic philosopher, said that since we only have 2 ears and 1 tongue, we should listen twice as often as we speak. This emphasizes the value of paying attention to our inner voice and being wary of our associations. Consider your life. Are there people that constantly spew negativity, sow doubt, or minimize your goals. It's critical to recognize and avoid these harmful influences. It's not about harboring grudges. Rather, it's about realizing that, in order to maintain your emotional well-being, some relationships need to be loosened or severed. Letting go of toxic people doesn't mean being cruel. Rather, it's about respecting yourself. By doing this, you put your inner serenity and emotional equilibrium first. You also strengthen your environment, making sure that there's no space for doubt or negativity as you work toward becoming emotionally cold. Genuine concern and unwavering support. Remember, the route to managing your feelings starts with ensuring that outside circumstances align with your personal goals. Rule number 4 is to keep your opinions and feelings to yourself in a world when it's expected of us to be open and honest about our sentiments. The ability to exercise discretion is underestimated, even though it's crucial to speak honestly in a variety of circumstances. The real power is in knowing when to reveal our deepest thoughts and emotions. The Stoics often emphasized the need of maintaining inner tranquility and the dangers of pursuing other people's acceptance. According to Marcus Aurelius, the quality of your ideas determines the joy you have in life. When we constantly seek approval or responses from others, we allow others to dictate how we feel about ourselves. Think back to times when you've shared a personal achievement or a core value with others in an effort to get validation or find out what they think. What happens in return? Often you face negativity, mockery, or other negative behaviors that can lower our confidence and cause us to doubt ourselves. But what if the power was within of you, unaffected by criticism from others? By practicing this discipline, you develop inner confidence. Deciding not to voice every thought or emotion isn't about keeping back. Rather, it's about taking control. It means learning that not every inner voice wants confirmation from others, and that our internal experiences don't always need to be validated. In the process of becoming emotionless, your feelings, values, and opinions remain unwavering, since they are no longer impacted by what other people may think. This idea serves as a precaution. It ensures that your emotional foundation remains strong and unaffected by shifting opinions and criticism from the outside world. Rule number 5. Advance yourself first. Set boundaries and don't be accessible all the time. Establishing boundaries, whether they be material or emotional, is essential to maintaining our sense of self and safeguarding our mental well-being in a society where constant communication is the standard and there is an implicit expectation to constantly be accessible. Setting these boundaries may seem difficult, but doing so is necessary to develop fortitude and become emotionally detached. As Seneca wisely stated, all the time you have is truly yours. However, how often do we waste it by being at everyone's disposal, immediately responding to notifications or fulfilling requests without delay? When we don't set boundaries, we effectively communicate to the outside world that our time, energy, and emotions are available for the taking, which can lead to exhaustion. The Stoics understood the value of time and introspection. Sadness, a feeling of burden, and even hopelessness. Picture yourself leaving all of your windows and doors open, allowing anything or anybody to enter and disturb you. Calm setting limits is an indication of self-worth. It shows that you value your leisure, your emotional stability, and your inner serenity. It's about knowing that being chosen for a task doesn't lessen your concern for other people, withdrawing with confidence and without regret, setting apart time for introspection, and acknowledging these things. It only goes to show that in your quest to become dispassionate, you also put yourself first. Establishing boundaries is essential because it protects you and keeps your emotional capital from being continuously depleted. Maintaining this posture enables you to remain in harmony and vitality without being prompted by outside forces. Rule number 6. As we draw to a close, our investigation into emotional resilience, set boundaries, don't put yourself first, and embrace honesty. Rule 6 emphasizes the need of putting oneself first and taking a direct approach in order to really stay calm and succeed. It's not about ignoring other people, but rather realizing that you can't help anyone if you don't take care of yourself first. Consider the analogy of being told to put on your oxygen mask before helping others on an airplane. In the same way, in life, you have to be emotionally stable and successful before you can truly help someone else. Direct communication is necessary for emotional resiliency. It's about expressing your ideas, aspirations, and limitations in straightforward terms. It's important to speak up clearly instead of being nasty. Stepping vaguely or making excessive attempts to please everyone. Instead, being clear helps to prevent confusion, reduces stress, and fosters genuine relationships with people who value honesty. Adhering to this principle means making decisions that are consistent with your values and goals. It's about defining your boundaries and remaining authentic. Not looking back. Kindle your inner passion and don't let anything hold you back. Life presents challenges, but you will overcome them before you pass away.